In today's Leeds news, update on the 49ers takeover situation, Gaetano Berardi looking to start his coaching career in England, Diego Llorente buyout reduced, Leeds accounts are overdue, and Gift Orban fee revealed. Hey folks, Tuesday here at The View with Jer. I hope you're all having a good week so far. Not a huge amount to go through, but what we do have today is an update on the situation regarding the San Francisco 49ers and what will happen if Leeds get relegated, as well as a few bits and pieces around some ex-Leeds players that are floating around as well, and an important update on Leeds accounts, which were due last month and are now overdue, so we'll cover that as well. So let's just crack on and start with the 49ers, and as we know, the 49ers takeover has been floated around for quite a while. They're already involved in the club. They've been at a lot of recent games. Parag Marate and Peter Lewy have been at quite a few games recently. But questions keep coming up around what's going to happen if Leeds get relegated. And the current buyout situation is rumoured to be in and around £475 million. There's some of that has already been paid. They've already gone and sourced the finances to go and complete the takeover. And although the takeover isn't due to happen until 2024, everyone seems to have agreed that the end of this season is the best period to do that. And Ben Jacobs has been talking with Give Me Sport about the situation, and Ben's got some information. What Ben has basically said is the following. First of all, the 49ers have to formally come in, and we've been waiting to see what the roadmap for that is. They have a contractual ability to do so in 2024, but the feeling has always been that at the end of this season is the best transitional period. Sources have said that relegation won't necessarily impact the roadmap, but it may not get any clarity on that until we know whether Leeds are in the Premier League or in the Championship. What has been said in the past is that the relegation would actually just result in a revaluation of Leeds and maybe knocking 100 million off the price tag, which would unfortunately for Radrizzani would be out of his pocket. He would lose that. He's still make a huge profit on the club of what he's spent to buy the club. He has put a huge amount of money into the club as well, which is important to say that. But Ben Jacobs has a lot of credibility in the industry, so information coming from Ben is always nice to hear. I think it'll be fine. I think if we go down, they'll still come in and take over. But I think there'll be some sort of a renegotiation on price. But as Ben says, we'll know more in the summer when it happens. But you don't want to go into a full summer not knowing what the plan's going to be for the following season, because your transfer kitty, all that stuff kicks in as well. Managed situation needs to be sorted out in the summer as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. Moving on, let's have a quick chat about Gaetano Berardi, my personal favourite player at Leeds United during this time there. And he has been talking around his future. He's currently playing in Switzerland. He's playing for Bellinzona and has been captain the side for the last couple of games. And he's been speaking about what his next stage in his career is. And although he is still playing, he has said that he is looking to start his coaching career in England. He believes that in the lower leagues, there's more of a 360-degree approach to coaching and a much deeper understanding of the game in terms of learning as a coach. And he said if you look down the lower leagues in England, you'll see a lot of ex-pros in that position. He's also said that he's kept in touch with Carlos Corberán quite a lot. He talks to De Zerbi, who's at Brighton now, and actually mentioned De Zerbi to Corberán before he was appointed as the Brighton manager. It's a shame he didn't mention him to Leeds. But he said that he looks at Bielsa, Corberán, and De Zerbi as the kind of model of coaches that he likes to look at. It'd be interesting to see. I would love to see him come back to Leeds as a coach. I would love it. One of the hardest hitting players we have. Could you imagine him playing a Bielsa-esque style of football? Knowing what he was like as a player, I'd love to see it. But best of luck to Gaetano on that, which is nothing but success. So, moving on, talking about another currently ex-Leeds player, I suppose, Diego Llorente. Keeps popping up, and according to Italian outlet AS Roma Live, they are now saying that Roma do want to make the move permanent, whereas they said a couple of weeks ago Roma were looking to get out of the deal. But what they have said is that the option to buy is currently set at £18 million. They're not keen on that fee, and the report says that as far as they're concerned and his agent is concerned, his cycle at Leeds has finished, is the quote that they've used, and Roma are aware of that. And as a result, the player doesn't want to come back to Leeds, wants to finish up, and Roma are now trying to renegotiate a deal to get that at a reduced rate. What they're looking to pay for the player is £13 million. Being very honest, between 13 and 18, I think you take either of them. I don't think it's a huge deal. Leeds will obviously try and hold the obligation. The irony of Leeds trying to hold the club to an obligation. With our history of stuff as well, and McKennie stuff floating on the background, Leeds potentially trying to get out of that move as well. But be interesting to see. But he pretty much stating that he's not coming back to Leeds, or not interested in coming back to Leeds, which probably means he's coming back to Leeds in the summer, and we'll start the first kind of season at the left centre back for us. Fingers crossed. Not. that doesn't happen. Moving on, let's have a quick chat about the Leeds accounts. We've seen an awful lot of conversation in the press recently about Everton's financial situation and what's been going on with the financial fair play rules. And Man City are under investigation for their breach of financial fair play rules, and Everton are also under investigation for their breach of financial fair play rules, while also building a stadium, which are not connected. But there's a lot of money going out at Everton. They are way over on their financial fair play. On paper, they are arguing some of the finer details of that. But what's interesting to come out is Leeds were due to have their accounts submitted into the relevant company houses on March 31st. As of today, which is the 4th of April, that still hasn't happened. And on Companies House, Leeds accounts for the year are registered as overdue. This isn't the first time that Leeds have done this. They did do it last year as well. They have a habit of being a little bit late. I think it was the 6th of April last year when they put their accounts in finally. Leeds weren't punished for it. There are punishments in place. We've seen in the Championship, Huddersfield had a small transfer embargo put on them while their accounts were late. Transfer embargo at this stage of the season doesn't make any difference. It's lifted as soon as your accounts go in. So it's more of a kind of an idle threat. But Leeds haven't been punished in the past, and looked like they won't be punished for this one either. But Leeds would need to get those accounts in the next couple of days to avoid any kind of punishment. There is a lot of obviously uncertainty behind the scenes at Leeds in terms of ownership and money and everything else like that. So it's going to be interesting to see. Leeds are in the bottom 3 on wage bill, basically, for the entire club for the Premier League. And they haven't had a huge net spend this year either. So, given the little bit of money Leeds spent over the last 2 seasons, you'd imagine over that 3-year period, they're well below the financial fair play cutoff. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then finally, moving on, we're talking about Leeds have been linked with Ghent striker Gift Orban. We spoke with this a couple of weeks ago as well. But Fabrizio Romano has come out to confirm that Leeds are monitoring the situation. And what he's been basically saying is that he's a target for Leeds this summer. And he has said that the fee that would need to be paid for the player has now been revealed as well. Orban has got 14 goals and 2 assists so far this season. And the fee is rumoured to be in and around £17.5 million for the player. He is not what we would be looking at in terms of if Leeds are looking to push on. It's another young player or another under 25-year-old player who's got potential to be a really good striker. We've got lots of them. What Leeds are desperately crying out for will be a guaranteed number 9 who can play for a full season and get us a couple of goals. That's been lacking an experienced head up there. We've got Bamford, but he's been injured all season, most of the season. You've had Rodrigo, who's had injury problems as well. Twice this year has had injury problems. So all of that put together, you're hoping that Leeds do look to strengthen that position. There's rumours that Pat Bamford might move on at the end of the season, and Leeds are looking for a direct replacement for him, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, folks, that's it for me for Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow for probably a review of the Nottingham Forest game tonight. Fingers crossed for that game. I don't have a great feeling, but we'll cross my fingers on it. And I will be back tomorrow, more Leeds news, and I'll talk to you then. Have a great day. Bye.